Yes, what's going on? This is Stephen Howson. This is tomorrow's transfers today. This is Full Time Devils. This is the video where we separate through all the bollocks that's going on in the transfer window and let you know what is going on the day before you're going to read it in the papers. Now, we've got an awesome menu of players to talk about tonight, and I'm going to get stuck straight into them. So the first one I'm going to talk about, and do you know what? I'm going to give you the menu. How about that? I'm going to give you the menu about what we're going to talk about, so you can go, yeah, quite fancy listening to that. So we're going to go for Cameron Borthwick-Jackson. We're going to go for Aistre. I've never heard of him either. Alba, we're going to go for Skriniar, and we're going to go for Marshall, and we're going to go for Rakitic. And do you know what? There's bollocks that we are going to talk about tonight, but there's also some stuff that I go, there might be something in this. So let's start with Cameron Borthwick-Jackson. So, didn't have a great spell on loan at Leeds. Hasn't really recaptured that form that we sort of saw under Louis van Gaal, where he was actually very, very good under Louis van Gaal. Surprisingly so, was shown as, Cameron Borthwick Beckham, who was calling him, with a crossing ability that he's got. Sunderland have been talking, there's a Sunderland podcast that has been talking up getting a guy on loan, and do you know what? I reckon this is going to be a move that definitely happens. If I was rating this one, I'd say it's very likely to happen. Sunderland now in League One. I think Cameron's got to get out there and get some first-team football under his belt. I think he's a player that probably struggles with personal confidence, and I don't think going to Leeds was the best idea for a Man United player to go and to check that out. But I think there's a top footballer in there. It'll do him no harm going down to somewhere like League One. And I think he'll be in the Championship in no time, whether that's with Sunderland or somebody else. And I still think there's a Premier League footballer there in Cameron. So I wish him good luck if he goes to Sunderland on loan. Hope he smashes it for him. And then I think he can get a move. I don't think he's going to be a United player, but I think there's definitely a footballer in there that can go and absolutely tear it up somewhere. So the next one. So the headline in Sport English is Manchester United are interested in Real Mallorca's Jon Aistre. S-A-S-T-R-E. Never heard of him. So it says one of the biggest stars of Real Mallorca's season has been Jon Aistre, the young right back, 21 years old, has been a regular starter and a key member of the team, which recently gained promotion to Segunda E. However, his performances haven't gone unnoticed, and a lot of teams in Europe are keeping tabs on his future. Mallorca fans are worried that one of their star players could leave. Blah, 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 blah. It's linked in Spain with Barcelona, Villarreal and Real Madrid. And it also says, outside of England, there's teams from England and Germany. Manchester United have made it clear that Aistre would not be signed if we was getting him, and it'd rather be a signing for the academy side. Now, this is interesting on two parts. One, because we've signed Delo at 19 years of age. No one's coming out and saying that he's an academy signing. It looks like very much he's like a first team signing. And he's 2 years younger than this guy. Signing someone for the academy side is something that the academy side has needed for 4 or 5 years. Hence the fact that they got relegated because it didn't have those that pool of players to choose from. It had a lot of very young players, and I think it really is going to benefit from having a little bit of investment. I definitely think it needs that. So this is a change in tactic, and maybe that's something that Michael Carrick and Kieran McKenna have had a bit of a say in since they've joined the coaching staff, because it seemed to me like initially Jose Mourinho didn't want to sign anybody for the academy side, this is what I was told. Didn't want to sign anyone for the academy side that he didn't see as a first team player eventually. And he didn't have time to go and to assess and recruit these players, because obviously he was too busy recruiting for the first team. So maybe Jose Mourinho has started to run his eye over some of the signings, and we might start to see a load of signings for that under-23 side, which, trust me, is absolutely crying out for those signings. And the players that need to be sorted out need to those players that he's got his eye on as potential first teamers, they probably need to get out on loan. The likes of Terrell Warren, the likes of Roshan, maybe even the likes of Chong and Angel Gomez. The time might be now for them to step out on loan and go and see what the crack is. So I say there might be something in this one, but by the sounds of it, he's probably going to stay in Spain, so I wouldn't get too excited about a player that we've never heard of. And this one's in Sports Witness. It says, Jose's willing to do anything to sign player. Tells United to do everything possible. Now, they're sort of parroting Don Ballon. Jesus Christ. So it says, Jordi Alba rumour has been popping up over the last few weeks, with it very much seemingly to play to get the defender a nice new Barcelona contract. This one we've sort of seen coming down the pipeline, but you have to take heed of it a little bit, because you know that United are definitely in the need for a fullback. Jordi Alba fits that bill to a T. So you're like, yeah, I can see that one happening. But when you actually read into it, you go, nah, this doesn't really add up. And like saying, at the end of this article, like Don Bologna saying, Jose Mourinho will do everything, and he said to United, do everything possible to get the guy. Chances are this guy signs a new Barcelona contract in the next couple of weeks. So I reckon don't get too excited about that one. I don't see it coming off. The next one to talk about then is probably likely a load of rhubarb as well. So it says Manchester United battle Tottenham for Barcelona star. This again is the Jordi Alba one. I got the wrong article. So it's another one. Basically, this is the Manchester Evening News. Basically parroting what's going on in Don Bologna, but also using AS. It says that United are keen on securing a deal for the guy that's 29 years of age, looking like 60 million. The next one that we're going to talk about then, this is in Sports Witness. So it says, amid Man United claims Milan Skriniar's entourage today arrive at the club headquarters. That is a mouthful of a headline. Amid Man United claims Milan Skriniar's entourage today arrive at club headquarters. Whoa. You're like, oh no. They've been at Inter, not at United. So basically, Skriniar was a name that popped up early this week. I would have said Monday, Sunday, that kind of time. And I was like, oh, here's a new name on the horizon. Now, the same thing that goes on. You can't really ever completely rule out any of these deals, because that's the kind of player that you think, yeah, that's likely on somebody's list somewhere as a transfer target. If we don't get number one, we don't get number two, we don't get number three, and we're moving down our little list, Skriniar's very likely to be on there at some point. You read this article from Sports Witness, again, very good in the transfer window, Sports Witness, and they're saying that with Skriniar's entourage arriving at Inter, they feel like a new contract is probably going to be on the table a little bit, especially with Inter considering placing the guy's transfer fee at somewhere around 80 million. There's probably better targets out there for United to go for 80 million. So this one is another one that I don't think is going to be happening. I think this is one that you can go, here's someone that's linked to us, or their agents link them to us in the hopes of getting them a fat juicy deal, because everybody knows the sort of money that United are going to pay, and this guy's being offered a 2.5 million a season, which is about 50 grand a week, which is, you know, I tell you what, I wouldn't get out of bed for 50 grand a week. It's garbage for a United player, 50k a week. Everyone at United's virtually on 100 grand a week, so they know that they could say, oh, United have offered us 150, and they know that Inter would be like, yeah, you probably have, yeah, you're right, yeah. So him signing a new deal for 2.5 million, that's a lot of money for Inter, that's nothing for United. So the chances are he's been linked with United to try and say, we can get better money elsewhere, we're going to move on unless you put some decent dollars on the table. And I reckon that's probably exactly how it went down. We got some Tony Marshall news. So on June the 13th, Tony Marshall's agent come out and said that the forward wants to leave after they failed to reach an agreement on his new deal. It says that Juventus are interested in him, and there's something going on, isn't there, in this transfer window with Juventus, and I can't quite yet work out what it is. But go and look at the players Juventus are linked to, go and look at the players United are linked to, and just sort of see the meshing of the two clubs in terms of all of this. They're not mentioning the fact that we might be buying players off each other. Darmian's very heavily rumoured to be going to Juventus. Alexandro rumoured to be coming to Manchester United. There's probably some shit that's going on with the two clubs, but isn't it weird? The same sort of players are being linked with both United and Juventus. I do find that very weird, and I haven't got to the bottom of why that's happening just yet. So, according to Il Bianco Nero, which I'm assuming is a Juventus website, it says Juventus and United are going to talk about the transfer market and the players they are interested in signing this summer. That, to me, would make a lot of sense, because it seems like there's a lot of overlap on targets. Now, it might be, look, we fancy that guy. We know that you fancy Marshall and Darmian. How about you let us have a free run at that guy? You can sign them too. All right, we're going for that guy. Well, we're going for that guy as well. We're both not backing down, X, Y, Z. And I think that's something that you might see happen. There might be something that comes out of this. But it's a little bit murky at the moment. The waters aren't clear in terms of how this is going to go. Can Juventus afford 100 million for Anthony Marshall? Would they pay 100 million for Anthony Marshall? Can you even argue that his price has gone up that much in the couple of years that he's been at Manchester United? I think that's a bit mad, you know. I've just seen a comment here from Paul Lucas saying Pogba has been average in the World Cup. If that's average, I'll take it all day because he's been a hair under man of the match in both the games that I've watched. So no, I would say Pogba has not been average, my friend. I think France overall have been average. Again, I don't think the tactics are very good from France considering the embarrassment of riches Deschamps has got at his disposal. But I wouldn't say Pogba's been average, no. Let's have a look at the last one that we've got then. So, do you know what? I saw Rakitic to United. I saw it published tonight after Croatia slap Argentina, and I go, mad coincidence there. What a load of rhubarb. I think there's something in it though. So here's what we're saying. It's in the Daily Star. It says Manchester United target Ivan Rakitic considering Barcelona ultimatum over switch. So Neil Atkinson is saying, what is he saying? So it says United are ready to offer 35 million, 40 million euros for Rakitic as he looks to overhaul his squad this summer. Rakitic impressed tonight for Croatia as his country hammered Argentina 3-0 at the World Cup. So, I mean, that's literally the extent of the article. There's not much in it. It says Dario Gol, known for their outlandish claims. It's a bit like Don Ballon, are saying that United are ready to drop in and raid for the 30-year-old. That's not a lot of money though. 40 million is probably now considered a bargain in this transfer window, and I would not be shocked if United went for that. I don't think Fred's coming in as an absolute every single week guaranteed starter. I think he's probably going to play 70-75% of the matches, but I think United need someone who can control the game a little bit, and I do think that you're about to see a bit of an overhaul in that Spanish midfield, and Rakitic might be the one that misses out. That sort of fee, I tell you what, I'd take him. I definitely would take him. Is it going to be something that definitely happens? I'm not saying that, but I don't think this is complete bullshit. I think there might be something in this one. Full-Time Devils account, Chris in the corner here saying, would he leave Barcelona though? I think he would leave Barcelona because I think Barcelona are about to dump a right lot of cash on new signings, and I think that there's always players that miss out with that. I think you can get players out of Barcelona the way you can get players out of Madrid. People think that it doesn't really happen, but if you look at their transfer history, it really does happen. So he's not someone that's not going to be kicking it around. That's the one, you know. Floyd in the comments says, don't need older players. If you look at the average age of Manchester United squad, mate, we kind of do need older players. We absolutely do. Rakitic is no Modric. Well, that's true. That is absolutely true. If Modric came available, I think, you know, Modric is a massive hell of a footballer that's been truly underrated throughout his career, and he's a hell of a footballer. I would love him, and I could see him leaving Barcelona, says Bad Brab. Marty says Rakitic is a dream. Demon says, I'm realistic, not blinded by potential as they label him. Don't get me wrong, you can see he's decent, but he's not done anything in a United shirt by the City game. I don't know who you're talking about. You certainly can't be talking about Paul Pogba in that one. Could we hold Marshall hostage? Why would you want to? Lately they've been going PSG and Bayern. True, but you know, United do pay them sort of wages as well. How would I feel if Young is first choice going to start the season? I'd be disappointed because he's absolutely not good enough. That's the simple fact of the matter. Jose's had his signings. Bay and Lindelof both fit for the final and still started the clowns. Worried that he'll start the same crap. Valencia, Smalling, Jones and Young next season. I don't think Bay is fit, and I think that's something that he's got a problem with, Jose that being. Your World Cup star so far, apart from Ronaldo, of course. I think Modric is probably in with a shout at that. They've looked very good, Croatia. I don't know. It's a bit early to say yet so far. It's been a very good World Cup though. I'm absolutely loving it. Don't want any old legends 3 or 4 years past their best. Nobody's past their best at 30, mate. Modric is the engine for Real Madrid, says Paul. Young has to go, says Fart. Luke Shaw training. I don't know what that means. It's just a comment rather than a question. I take him all day long. Fantastic baller. Obviously, tons of sentiments exactly the same in that one. Right, I'm going to leave it there. But But we'll be back tomorrow night at 11 o'clock for the last one of the week. Keep it locked to Full Time Devils as usual. Subscribe if you're new around here. This is the sort of thing that we do. 11 o'clock every single weekday night throughout the transfer window. And then on a Monday we do the transfer review as well, where we go a bit more in depth into all the different rumours, all the ins and all the outs, and then we give them a rating and let you know where we think they're all going. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for your comments. Give it a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you in the next one. Laters.